Hello and welcome. My name is Natalie and this is Flamin' Hot Reviews. This is a series that I'm going to be creating where I will be going through the entire line of Flamin' Hot products and be reviewing them. There will also be some Flamin' Hot adjacent products thrown in there as well. Now before we begin, you might be asking yourself, what qualifies me to review and judge Flamin' Hot products? Well, I'll tell you. I love Flamin' Hot Cheetos. I eat them almost every single day. And at this point, my blood is spicy. That's right. I have spicy blood, which is very painful, but an excellent defense against vampires. So for all of these products, we're going to be rating them based on their spiciness, their texture, and their flavor, out of 5. So today, to create sort of a baseline, I will be reviewing your standard Flamin' Hot Cheetos. Now, I'm just going to come right out and say it. These Flamin' Hot Cheetos are 5s across the board. I mean, come on. They're the line that everything is measured against. Of course, I know that the heat can be a little intimidating for first-time eaters. I'm sure we all kind of can remember the first time we tried them. In fact, I remember the first time I had them. I thought they were awful. You know, they're very spicy. It's a kind of spice that just it hits you and it really leaves nothing to the imagination. However, I think that there's something of a challenge to them, an allure, if you will. And I think that's kind of what helps people keep coming back. The flavor is, of course, exquisite. The main element that we're dealing with is, of course, cayenne, which is it really adds to the punchiness of the flavor. I mean, there is, of course, the cheese, that you expect from a typical Cheetos product, but that kind of takes a back seat to the flamin' hotness, if you will, of the flavor dust. It's such an iconic flavor, and I think that's the reason why you have so many products that emulate it, or even from Frito-Lay's themselves, they have so many other products that use the same flavor dust, because it just has this element of this flavor to it that even though it's mostly cayenne, which is pretty much all heat, it's still just so good. It's addictive in quality. Of course, I think the texture is something that's very important. I want to show you what I'm talking about here. You see, with your standard Cheeto, it's got all kinds of nooks and crannies, creases and crevices, where the flavor dust can kind of settle and collect. You see what I'm saying? And because of that, you get a bite that is guaranteed to give you a burst of flamin' hot flavor dust every time. And of course, you get a really nice initial crunch. It's very satisfying. See, I think texture is often overlooked when it comes to chip-like snacks. You see, a regular potato chip is just a flat surface. So when the flavor dust gets sprayed onto it, you kind of just have to hope that you get a nice part on every bite. But the shape and the ridges, the ruggedness of the surface area is very, I think, important. And perhaps the most important element of the Cheeto. Unlike other snacks, every bite is just bursting with flavor. Of course, I also think that the inside is also essential. You see, the way the sort of puffed cornmeal works is that when it hits your mouth, it kind of begins to dissolve. And this sort of creates this layer of cheesy flavor, of flamin' hot flavor that spreads over your tongue, creating this nice surface of deliciousness. Despite all these positive qualities of Flamin' Hot Cheetos, I think the question still kind of remains of what makes them so special. Flamin' Hot Cheetos, they're this real cultural touchstone. I mean, they have this cult following amongst them. And really, you just have to wonder, what makes them so special? What sets them apart? And I think in order to understand that, you need to understand two concepts. When we eat Flamin' Hot Cheetos, we are consuming a chemical known as capsaicin. Capsaicin is created by plants as a way to ward off predators because when you eat it, it causes you pain. However, we as humans say, hey, you stupid plant, you want to create this thing that makes it hard and spicy for me to eat you? We don't care. In fact, we love that. So that's important. And I think the other thing that needs to be understood is the philosopher Kant's notion of the sublime. You see, everybody knows what a sublime experience is. I'm sure we can all think of an example. However, Kant stated that in order for something to be a truly sublime experience, there needed to be some sort of an element of danger to it. Something that was so wonderful that it hurts you, that it's dangerous. And so I think that when we are eating something that is literally designed to cause us pain, it creates a truly sublime experience. And I just don't think that's something you find in a lot of snacks. Something else that's important to know about Flamin' Hot Cheetos is that they were actually created by a janitor. Yes, there was a janitor that worked in a Cheetos factory who would take unflavor dusted Cheetos, and he would sort of roll them in this cayenne spice mixture that he had invented himself. And his friends and his family loved it so much that he actually decided to pitch the idea, and he managed to get an audience with a major executive of Cheetos, and they liked it so much that he was promoted and they put the idea into action. And now to this day, that guy is an upper executive. So, I mean, Cheetos, Flamin' Hot Cheetos really, to me, represent the American spirit of entrepreneurship. You know, Flamin' Hot Cheetos represent freedom. And I think it's also important to know that, you know, you should remember to be nice to janitors. You know, they don't have the best job. And maybe if you're nice to a janitor, they'll invent Flamin' Hot Cheetos. Or, well, maybe they'll invent something else wonderful since, you know, Flamin' Hot Cheetos kind of already exist. But you get the idea. So thank you, viewer. Whether you're a fellow Flamin' Hot fanatic or you're fresh to the Flamin' Hot fandom, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please, if you'd like this and you'd like to see more in the same style, like, comment, subscribe, tell everyone you know about this video, or don't. It's really not a big deal.